Welcome, sun and sunsets. My name is Cynthia Renee Meeks, and I'm a spiritual awakening guide for those who have a strong desire to spiritually define your life in this life or a past life. The modalities I use are metaphysics, spiritual hypnosis, and numerology. Today I'm going to tell you the story about how the angels sent me my dog. Well, how I found out the angels sent my dog Rain to me. Okay, let's jump right into it. Okay, so last June, my oldest son, I had like this dog fever, right? I'm like, let's get a dog. And my kids were like, Mom, you're allergic, you know you can't be around dogs. I'm like, no, I think I'm good, let's get a dog. So my son says, okay, my oldest son, let's see how you will react with the dog. So let's foster a dog. And I didn't know anything about fostering a dog. I didn't know anything about dogs, period, right? Because I was so highly allergic to dogs that I never, once. And I just knew how I was when I was younger. When I was younger, my family always wanted dogs, and they had to keep my side because I had severe asthma with dogs. My eyes would puff up, my throat would close, I couldn't breathe. It was just hard. My face would be itching. It was horrible, right? And so the whole entire time my 23-year-old was growing up, he always wanted a dog. And that was like, no, son, we can get you a pet, a stuffed animal, anything but an animal with hair, because the thing is, I'm allergic to pet dander. It doesn't matter what kind of animal. It could be a horse, it could be a bird, it doesn't matter. If it has pet dander, I'm allergic to that animal, okay? So I said, let's get a dog. So he was like, okay, let's foster a dog. And so he went out on his Facebook, and was searching for fostering dogs from people that he knew. So this one girl that went to school with him that he didn't know, she was needing someone to foster her pit and lab, okay? It was an older dog. It was a girl. Her name was Shadow. So we went to go to where someone else was fostering Shadow to check her out, right? Shadow seems fine, a lot of hair, she sheds a lot, okay? Long story short, because I don't want to make this video too long, guys, we brought Shadow home. I explained to my son will be taking care of this dog because I don't know if I'm allergic or not. We have to just try it out and see. She's like, oh, well, it was around June. I just want to know if you guys would be willing to keep her to December. And I'm like, December? Sure, right? So as Shadow started to get in here and walk around, she was just real laid back, and the hair started to shed very, very, very bad every day. And she would, because we were fostering a dog, she would provide the food for Shadow, right? We would be sweeping up, I would be sweeping up hair every single day. Every single day I was popping Benadryls like crazy. I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything because I was highly, highly allergic to Shadow, right? Hair was just everywhere. And she was the sweetest dog. And then my son would go out of town for a couple of days and come back, and and then I would be stuck with Shadow. My 13-year-old would do, at that time he was 12, would do whatever he could, but the dog was around me, right? She quickly found out who the alpha was, okay? So we had her for a while. I really fell in love with this dog, but I could not breathe. None of that stuff. I couldn't breathe. My eyes were itchy, watery, everything you can imagine to be allergic to dogs, I had it. And so the owner kept coming over, and she was a young girl, and her and my son did not get along. For whatever reason, my son was like, I don't want her coming over here all the time. I'm like, she's the owner. Well, I don't want you to talk to her all the time. I'm like, what is your problem, right? And then she was like, I don't think your son likes me. I don't know what his problem is. And I'm like stuck in the middle. And meanwhile, I like this dog, but I was so highly allergic to this dog, okay? Make a long story short, my 12-year-old started getting really, really attached to her, and the owner always wanted pictures, so we would send her pictures, and she brought some yogurt cups over for the dog to eat, and she was like, she doesn't like these. We went to the park and she didn't eat any of them, so my son went and got some of the yogurt cups, and he started to feed the dog, and she sat there the whole time and just ate it all. So meanwhile, I videotaped this and I sent it to her. I was like, oh, she likes them and blah blah blah, and I think that she kind of got upset because we were kind of getting too close. I mean, what you expect? So so she decided, I'm gonna trim this story because this is not the good part. So she decided to, because she was staying with her grandmother waiting to get her own place, and this she was furloughed and all this other stuff. So she decided to move in with her dad, and then she said she came to get Shadow to take her to the park, and then next thing I know, she comes back and said, well, I'm not bringing her back in. I want all of her stuff. I'm taking her with me. And I'm like, okay, cool, right? So make a long story short, I text her like 2 weeks later, and I'm like, hey, can we, you know, have a weekend with Shadow? She was like, no, this is my dog. This is not your dog. Get your own dog. And I'm like, but I suffered greatly for this dog, right? So, make a long story short, I believe she came and got the dog at the end of July, okay? The end of July, because I did get her ultimatum that said, you have to shorten this time frame. There's no way we can keep this dog in December and be able to give it up. She was a sweet, sweet dog, very, very smart, right? So, again, Shadow was a pit in a lab. So, I went a few months and I was like, oh my God, why am I having like dog fever? I want a pit and lab. Like, that dog was so freaking smart and so sweet. So in October, I started looking for a pit and lab. I know nothing about dogs. I know that pit and labs were shed a lot, and if you have dog allergies, you will be highly allergic to them, okay? Well, this is when it gets good, okay? So I got on Craigslist and I started to look for a pit and lab. I don't know why Craigslist. I didn't know where else to look. I went straight to Craigslist, and there was a girl, a young girl, who her pit and her lab had puppies, okay, 3 of them, and she was selling them for $30 without shots. $30. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know anything about dogs, but I want one of these dogs. So, as you know, I am a hypnotist, right? Okay, well, I was having a hypnosis session coming up with a colleague of mine, and one of the things I wanted him to do was to remove, let's go to a lifetime where I, you know, the lifetime that gave me asthma, or where the asthma came from, because you can do that if you know about hypnosis. You can, if there's some illnesses that you have, you can find out where they originated from and heal them, okay? So my goal was to find a dog and have a hypnosis session to get rid of my asthma for my dog, okay? That was the plan. So what happened next was he canceled. Yes, he canceled. I called the girl. I was like, I want one of your dogs. She's like, well, I only have one left. I'm like, okay, well, send me some pictures. She sent me some pictures. He was so cute. These pictures right here, it was my dog when he was around, like, I think like 9 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that. And I'm like, he is so cute. She's like, this is the only one I have. But there is a caveat. I'm like, okay, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And she said his hair is coming, he has lost a lot of his hair on his tail. Dun, dun, dun. I'm like, I don't know anything about this. What does this mean? Okay. So I'm gonna make this story very quickly, I promise. So what happened was we ended up, he canceled the hypnosis session, right? And I know that I am highly allergic to dogs. So if I would get this dog, then I would be highly allergic, going through the same thing I went with Shadow, right? Well, and by the way, this dog was like a brindle color, black and brown, more black than brown. Beautiful, right? Just so cute. So what happened was he canceled our, you know, hypnosis session, right? And I could have gone to someone else to have this done, but I didn't, okay? So what happened next was I called her up and I was like, hey, we really want this dog. I'm just trying to decide. She's like, okay, well, let me know. And then I'm like, okay. So what happened next was I talked to God. And I'm like, God, I was supposed to have this hypnosis session. Why? Oh, because I was dreaming about him. I was dreaming about this dog every night. Like, he was popping in my head, coming through my dreams, seeing him like in the car with us, just like already in the family, right? So I'm like, why am I dreaming about a dog? A dog, right? It's not a man, it's not a new car, it's not a house, it's a dog, it's a puppy. So so I just simply, like, the next night I'm like, God, if this is the dog I'm supposed to have, like, not the next day, I'm like, if I'm supposed to have this dog and I don't know why, then you know that I'm highly allergic, I have asthma. Show me a rainbow. And if you show me this rainbow, then I know I'm supposed to have this dog, okay? So I leave out the house and I went to go pick up my son from school. He's getting ready to get out of school. And I look up and I see a rainbow. Rainbow, like huge rainbow when I went around the corner. I'm like, what the freak is this? What is this? And so I ignored the rainbow. And then my son was like, are we getting the dog? 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 And I'm thinking to myself, son, I'm highly allergic. He was like, Mom. So I'm steady contacting the girls, like, you still have me? She's like, I still have me. What do you want to do? I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm still making my decision. And after that, we went to, I said, you know what? Let's go to the PetSmart to see how much it costs to get dog stuff, okay? Let's start with that. Let's see what kind of food we need to have. So we go into the PetSmart, right? And I'm all happy, and I was like, okay, where's your puppy food? Like, what is some really good puppy food? And so apparently this guy just started that day, okay? He just started that day, and he was like, I don't know. I don't know which one is good. There's a lot of it. So he went to his manager, and so we just standing there looking at the manager, waiting for her to say which one was the best one. She was like, it's plenty of puppy food out there. Just go over to the puppy food aisle and just pick one. And I'm like, oh, no, she didn't. Like, she was so rude. Like, we are not getting this dog. Red flag, red flag, red flag. And I grabbed my son. I'm like, let's leave. We're not getting this dog. So I go home. I contact the girl, and I'm like, we're not getting this dog. We decided not to get him. She's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. That night, right, I had another dream about him. He pops up in my dream again. And so the next day, on my way to pick up my son again, I said, before I left my house, before I stepped out the house, I said, God, if you show me a flock, okay, a flock of white birds in the sky, then I know that I'm supposed to get this dog and that you will financially help me support and take care of this dog. I mean, shots and food and every toys and everything that he needs, right? Training. I go outside, get in my car, go around the corner to the stop sign, and there was a flock of white birds in the sky. No lie. A flock of white birds in the sky. I said, what is going on? What is going on with me? Am I dreaming this? Is this really happening? People don't dream about dogs who never had dogs. People don't think about a dog all the time who never even had a dog, right? Who never even experienced having a dog. My son was not going through this. I was going through this, okay? Really, really bad. So I had a hypnosis session. This is the good part, okay? I had a hypnosis session with a lady who can channel celestial beings from Jupiter, okay? She can channel celestial beings from Jupiter. And in our session, because he was already talking to me, and they called him Six from Jupiter, planet Jupiter. And Six said, and I asked him, I simply said, there's a dog that I keep thinking about, and I don't know why. There's a puppy that I keep dreaming about, thinking about, and I'm highly allergic to puppies, okay? I'm talking to her, but talking to him through her as she's in a trance. And I said, why am I thinking about this dog so much? He says, go get the dog. As you can see, it was like, go get this dog. We're gonna show you how this dog, we're gonna show her, the one who was in trance, what this dog looked like. This is your dog, go get your dog. And I'm like, what? Like, he knew already that I was interested in this dog. I said, but I'm highly allergic. And this celestial being said, you will have asthma for just a little while and it will go away completely. I'm like, what? And he was like, yes, this is your dog. This dog is there to protect you. This dog is sent to you. But I don't know if he said by your angels or not, but that's in another session, okay? But this is your dog. You need to go pick up this dog. This is your dog, okay? She comes out of a trance. I said, they said you had something to tell me. She said, there was a black dog, he was so cute and so little. He just kept running around me and running with me up the stairs and chasing me. And I'm like, oh my God. She was like, he's just a little cute black dog. She didn't know color. She didn't know anything. She told me exactly what the dog looked like, okay? So I said, that night before I went to sleep, okay, yes, there were celestial beings from Jupiter. I still did not believe because I know how bad my asthma is. So that night I had asked God once again. I said, God, if this is my dog, show me a rainbow in my dreams. And that night I dreamed of a postcard that had a rainbow going across it. A postcard that had a rainbow going across it, okay? So needless to say, I called the girl back and I said, you know, I said I didn't want that dog. She said, yeah. Do you still have, well, I emailed her. I couldn't call her, I emailed her. And I said, you know that dog I said I didn't want? I was like, if you still have him, we want him. That was like earlier that day. She did not respond until midnight. So before midnight, I told my son, I said, we may not get this dog because it's been so long. She's probably already sold him. So don't get your hopes up high. All day long we waited and we waited and we waited. Midnight came, I heard my phone go ding ding, email. And she said, yes, we still have him. I was like, I'm coming to get him. I'm coming to get him. And so, make a long story short, I did go pick up my dog. We named him, I wanted to name him Rainbow, but my son wanted to name him Rain. And as you can see, so many pictures of Rain. But he wanted to name him Rain. So we named him Rainbow, Rain, but in my mind, he's still Rainbow, okay? And it's a boy. And sure enough, his hair was mainly off his tail. It was just little skinny tail, right? And when I brought him home, she told me she was giving him chicken. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat meat. The only thing I do eat is fish. So I bought puppy food that was salmon and sweet potatoes. Within, I would say, a month, all of his hair was back on his tail. Completely back. She didn't know how and why his hair fell off, and she said it may never grow back. They didn't want this one, but that was my dog, and his hair grew back, okay? So, make a long story short, did I have a hypnosis session? Yes, I did have my hypnosis session finally. And when I did my hypnosis session, I saw a giant hand out of the sky, okay? A giant hand out of the sky. It was like this, coming down, and it had my puppy Rain wrapped around the tip of the pinky, okay? And it was like, and it was coming down, and it handed me Rain, and I was like, oh. So imagine this giant hand with my little puppy, and I'm like grabbing my little puppy off his pinky, and it went back up in the sky, okay? And I'm like, I see a giant hand that's handing me my puppy. He said, okay, well, did you take it? I'm like, yeah, I took it. And so he make a long story short, we did not go back to a past life. We did not figure out why I had asthma, right? I still had the asthma. So the same person who channeled the celestial beings from Jupiter, I allowed her to do a surrogate session for me because I could not go to a past life. And so what we did was we went to she was the surrogate, so she just found my spirit. She's a medium, so she found my spirit, and she was able to go back to this past life where the asthma originated, okay? And so where the asthma originated was when I was a witch in my past life, and I was a good witch in my past life, and I was a slave, okay? And the other slaves told the slave owner that I was a witch, and he was afraid that I was going to kill him, okay? And so what he did was put me in a barn, and he set it on fire. And the smoke from the fire went in my lungs. It stayed in my lungs, and so I was never healed because I died like that, okay? And so I came to this life with that same residue from that lifetime, and that's what gave me asthma for this life. So if you don't understand how past life works, give me a call, send me a message, a comment, or even email me, because I will explain. If you're walking around here and you have cancer, or you have diabetes, or you have asthma, or you have something, and it's unexplainable, the only thing the doctors can tell you to do is take these pills, and it's because you are overweight, or it's because you have a family history of this, or it's because of your mother smoked, or because your daddy smoked. That is not true. Everything has an origin, okay? But this is not about that. So anyway, so we went to that life, and she was coughing, and we got all the smoke out, and we healed me, okay? So guess what? I don't have asthma anymore. My asthma was healed in that session. And in that session, I found out, because I connected to my higher self, and my higher self told me that the angels, my angels who work with me, they sent me rain, okay? They sent my dog Rain to me because I had, check this out, five attachments to me. 5 attachments. And if you don't know what attachments are, I'm gonna do another video and I explain that. But I had 5 spirit attachments that were attached to me when I would get so angry at my ex, then just mad or sad. I've never been depressed, but just really sad and upset. Then your frequency, my frequency, vibrational frequency was very low, and it allowed spirits, earthbound spirits who have died and never went to the light to attach to me, okay? I had 5 of them. And one of them was very, very, very strong. He was like a wizard or something. He actually said he wanted to take over my body. So we were able to talk to all of them in the session where she was a surrogate for me. And we were able to get rid of all of them, but him, he had to be banished. And he even said that he was not, well, he did. He would knock pictures off my wall, right? And I didn't know how these pictures were falling off my wall. And the dog would bark before he knocks them off, right? And so he did that to scare me. And so what my higher self told me, that the angels sent Rain to me, so he would be able to bark, and the spirit hated the barking. And then he would be able to let me know when things were happening, and then we end up getting rid of him. So Rain is actually my protector in this business. As a hypnotist, spiritual hypnotist, when you are working with people, you don't know what's all within them, right? If there's any spirits or any aliens or any dark force entities, anything like that attached to them, you don't know that going in. And sometimes I have my protection with me. Rain is always by my side when I'm doing my hypnosis sessions. Sometimes if they are here in my home or in their home, because I know when he starts to bark, I know he's letting me know something is there. Okay, so he is my lifesaver. He is everything to me. He's like another son to me. I love my Rain. I wish he was around here. He must be in the other room somewhere, but you're going to see plenty of pictures of him and a video of him. So just comment below if something like this have ever happened to you, or you feel like you've lost a pet, or you gained another pet and you don't know why this pet just showed up, and all of a sudden you have this undeniable, unconditional love for this pet. Drop a comment down below, because you just never know. Maybe a family member who passed on, or maybe you had a pet who you lost sent you another pet. This is so common, you guys. Just, you have to learn how to just trust and trust. And when there is something that's pushing you and pulling you to do something, no matter what, even if you feel like you have fear, or you can't because you're allergic, or you know you can't afford it, just do it anyway and see what will happen. Maybe it will work out. It will work out. I promise you. Rain has been a lifesaver for me. He sleeps with me. I mean, everything. I'm on the couch, he's on the couch with me. In my videos, he's usually here behind me, but he's somewhere. But he's always with me, and I can't even imagine when I go out of town, I'm driving somewhere, I take him with me, because I bring him with me because he is a part of my family. He's a part of me, and I would never mistreat him, because I know my angels watching out for me and sent me Rain. Okay, so all I'm asking you to do, if there is something that you are missing, maybe you have someone who passed away in your life and you need something, just call on your angels. Call on your angels and ask your angels to send you someone, send you a pet, something that will give you that comfort, that will be able to help you with this in this process that you're going through, whether it's grieving, whether it's, you know, no matter what it is, get you, if you're lonely, call on your angels. This is the point of this message. This entire message is to call on your angels. There were so many signs for me to say, hey, we trying to get your attention, and I was wanting more and more convincing me, the one who always see angels numbers, the one who always talking to my angels, the one who always, you know, feel like they're always surrounding me. Even if you look at a lot of my videos, you will see orbs that are flying around everywhere in my house. So I still had doubt, and the reason why I had doubt, because I knew that I was highly allergic to dogs, highly allergic. But when that celestial being said, you will have asthma, but it won't last. It will only be there for a little while. And the little while was because I went back to that past life, found out where that asthma originated, and I healed it. You can heal in hypnosis. You can be healed in hypnosis. I cannot stress that enough. You don't have to go to the doctor and get shot up with all these pills and these shots and going through all these surgeries. Seek a hypnotist, me, first, because there's always a spiritual answer to everything that is going on with you. Everything in life, everything that goes on with you, have a spiritual reason and answer, okay? There's always an answer. You just have to seek more than one route. And most people just seek the doctor route or the hospital route. They seek that because that's quick and easy. And whatever that doctor say, you know, they tap into that and they listen, because he's supposed to know this, because he went to school for 35,000 years and he knows what's wrong with me. That is bull BS. That's BS. Because you can heal yourself no matter what. No matter what. You can be healed. God gave you the powers. So my name is Cynthia Renee Meeks. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you've watched this video all the way to the end. Check out some of my numerology videos, my hypnosis videos. I don't have many, but they're coming. And please subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the notification button so you will be notified the next time I upload a video. Always remember to love, live, and forgive. My name is Cynthia Renee Meeks. I'm a spiritual awakening guide, and the modalities I use are spiritual metaphysics, spiritual hypnosis, and numerology. Bye for now.